Ready?
I'm ready.
What's What's good people? It's your boy CJ Randolph, and this is the Just a Messenger podcast, where we're trying to change the world one message at a time. And what is that message? The message of hope, of love, of joy, and of peace. And Thanksgiving.
You know what I was just thinking about? How we have so many Christmas songs and not a Thanksgiving song.
Literally saw someone post something about that. Was like, if someone would just make a Thanksgiving song, they could be really, really, really rich. So really? Preston, P-Rex,
we calling people out.
Let's get it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Holla at your boy so I can get these royalties with it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Royalties. Hey, babe.
Hello, my love.
How are you?
I'm yummy.
You're yummy. Yes, you are. You're so sweet. Okay, so we do have cute shirts on. Yours says, what does it say, babe?
I don't know.
It says, you don't know? You haven't worn it since last year.
Right.
She's my sweet potato. And there's an arrow that goes this way. There you go. And mine says, I am. And the arrow goes that way. Isn't that adorable?
Aren't we so cute?
We so cute. Yes. Okay. Thanksgiving is coming up in a few days, and I'm excited to be with family. I'm excited to eat. I'm excited to have some time off from work. I feel like I'm very excited around this time of year. It's my very favorite time of the year because Thanksgiving happens during Christmas. Right after Halloween is Christmas time, and there's like 2 holidays during Christmas time.
So we don't fight often. But this is one thing that I will stand my ground on.
What you saying, babe? What you trying to say?
Christmas starts after Thanksgiving.
What do you do between Halloween and Thanksgiving in regards to like music? I'm going to fall back on that.
Listen to music.
Now, you do be listening to some Christmas music.
Now, I will give you that. And I've showed my cards. I'd actually listen to Christmas music all year.
All year round.
Boyz II Men Christmas album.
Absolutely.
Just an R&B classic. It's just R&B. They just happen to be talking about Christmas. And side note, we talked about this. What? I don't know what's wrong with me, but I think the saddest Christmas songs are like my favorite.
Those are your favorite?
Like Boyz II Men, White Christmas.
White Christmas. Gonna be a white Christmas.
It's gonna be
It's gonna be a...
Oh. What?
I thought you were going to the high note.
No.
White Christmas.
No, that's you. Anyway.
We were so pitchy, but we were pitchy together. So.
Yeah.
In our own harmonies. Well, you know what? I think that's appropriate to bring up because even though I'm so excited about the holidays and I love Thanksgiving, I love Christmas, I love New Year's, this is actually a time of year that a lot of people are very sad. Yeah. And probably the saddest they'll be all year is around Thanksgiving and Christmas because there's a lot of people that you can't celebrate it with.
Right.
And I keep seeing posts about, Thanksgiving will never be the same without, the person that was the glue of the family or, the Thanksgiving after a parent passes away, it's not the same. It's not really a joyous occasion.
Right.
It's just really, really sad. So, it's good to have these sad songs because it's appropriate, and it's also good to acknowledge all the different feelings that come around this time of year.
Yeah. One thing that I've learned is, yes, I do have emotions. Men, we have emotions. We express them differently, and it's good to express them. Mm-hmm. Feel what you feel when you feel them, but don't let it control you. Right?
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, to definitely acknowledge those feelings, release those feelings. Don't keep them bottled up. Yeah. But there's a time and season for everything, and everyone's season is not the same time frame. So maybe one person's season is just a year of kind of mourning, and another person maybe it's a couple of years or a couple months. It's different for everyone. So it's just good to be mindful of that around this time of year. And I'm trying to think, has it ever happened to me where like the holidays were sad because of maybe someone passing or just an event. I really can't think of any, but I'm a very, very optimistic person, and I try to always see good in the bad, and I don't know, beauty from ashes. So I don't know if you've ever had a season where Thanksgiving was sad, Christmas was sad.
No. No.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate for the most part of, intermediate family and of course extended family and stuff, that those that have reached glory.
Yeah.
It was kind of something that we were expecting and kind of seeing for a little while. So it was, you're kind of prepared for that.
Right.
And then, so in those times, we're thankful for their lives in that moment, and that's just kind of how the way we've done things in our family, and so we haven't really crossed that quite yet.
I kind of feel like even in my family, it's always something to celebrate. So we have something to look forward to after someone passes away or transitions. So like for my dad, when he passed away, I think we had him in the back of our mind. I'll just speak for me. I had him in the back of my mind when the different holidays occurred, and even like when Father's Day occurred. But you have that moment of, I miss my dad, or I miss this person, and I'm a little sad, but I just wasn't like down or like depressed. I just had my moment, shed my tears, and then remembered all the amazing times I had with my dad. And the fact that I'm even sad about my dad being gone, or I miss him, is because he was such a good dad.
Right.
Because if he wasn't, I'd have been like, yeah, he's part of my life, but not around anymore. And it's not the case. So again, that's me going back to just trying to see the beauty in everything, even when it's not always, rainbows and sunshine and unicorns.
Right, which is not the definition of peace.
No, that sugarcoats it.
Right, because that's not reality. That's not biblical even at that aspect.
No, it's not. Real. You know what I'm just thinking of? Okay, so there wasn't a time where I was sad because someone passed away, but now I'm recalling a time where I was sad because I think it was the first maybe Christmas or Thanksgiving that I had to celebrate without my children, my biological children that came out of my womb. So, so that was just, I'm sure I cried, and I was very sad. Again, not depressed, but just so sad that I couldn't spend my favorite holidays with my children, where everything was perfect. In a normal world, you have all of your holidays with your children. So I was just kind of thinking about that. There has been times where I'm just like, this is not as happy as it was in the past.
Right.
But I'm at a better place now. So like if this year we don't have the kids for Christmas, in the past would be very, very sad. Now I'm just like, what are we going to do? Where are we going?
Oh, it's very interesting how those different seasons in life may be the same situation, but it's a different season, and how that outlook or that perspective is like, oh, so yeah, where are we going?
Where are we going? What trip we going on?
Yeah, right.
And our kids be so upset when they're away and they come back and they realize we took a cruise or we went out of town for the weekend. They're like, why did you take us? And we're like, we went because y'all weren't with us. And we could afford 2 people, not 7.
And we deserve it.
And we sure do. That's a good balance. You need that in your life. So I think that's pretty cool.
You'll get your opportunity.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we take our family trips, and we do our one-on-one outings with our kids. So I have like mother-son date, mother-daughter date, and they get to pick a place to go out to eat or pick a place to go buy some gifts. So they get their time. Yes. They absolutely do. We try to balance it out, and I thank God that I'm able to be in a place where I can be happy and sorry. And who did I say sorry to? This? I'm sorry. and different.
Such a good heart.
Oh goodness, I'm too much. It shouldn't be that serious. It really should. But yeah, I'm happy that I'm at a place now where I can be happy with my kids, be happy without them, even though I want them with me at all times. But it's it's just a better place. And I know that's all God, because if it wasn't, I'd be crying all the time. I love my kids and I want them with me, as they should be. But that's just not the world we live in. And okay, Lord, I just give it to you. And he is the source of my peace and my joy and my hope, all that good stuff, love. So that's my constant. That's my constant right there. That never changes. So as long as I have that foundation.
Firm foundation. I was literally about to say that.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. So I did want to talk a little bit more about why, me personally, why I'm in a place where I can celebrate and be happy about something that is sad, right? So, my dad did pass away, it was about over a year ago. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm really bad with time frames and things like that, but it's been over a year since my dad passed away, and I am a daddy's girl. I absolutely love my dad. He could do no wrong, and I looked up to him, and I learned so much from him, and he was like this big, protective Papa Bear, and I'm just blessed to have him as my dad. So, I kind of told this story at his celebration service, and I kind of was on the fence of if I should share it with the world, because it's kind of private. It's kind of like an intimate moment, but I know how my parents are, and I know what God wants of me. And I feel like when we have something that's so beautiful, and if we have some type of event that really showcases God and his love and his glory, we really shouldn't keep it to ourselves. So even though it's been some time, I'm like, okay, well, maybe now I'm ready to kind of talk about it for everyone to kind of see and hear and hopefully feel. So my dad, without going into too many details, we knew his time was coming. His health was deteriorating pretty fast, and if you're just looking at the science and anatomy and all of that stuff, there wasn't really much hope in that area.
Right.
I was blessed to know that my dad didn't have much time, so that I can go be with my dad. So I'm here in Houston, Texas, and I'm from H-Town, but I'm from the below. Okay, the below, the rough buff. So my family is still up north. So my dad was, at a hospital in Buffalo. I got the call from his doctors that said, yeah, get on the plane and come down because he doesn't have much time. So I was able to be there, my mom and my brother. So our immediate family, it's my mom, my dad, me, and my brother. It's just us four. So we go to the hospital, and I had to do one of the hardest things I ever did in my life, and that was to sign a DNR. I don't know if I told you. I might have.
Yes.
I mean, that time was just so hard for me. But to actually, put the pen to the paper and say, if my dad stops breathing, don't do anything. And I was the one that was given that authority to do that. But I thank God that throughout every decision in regards to my dad, every major decision, I did speak to my brother about it and my mother, and we were always on the same page. That's a blessing, number one. Number two, I spoke to my dad, and my mom spoke to my dad quite a bit leading up to this time, and we both felt like my dad was asking to go home. He was asking to go home.
Yes.
And at first we're like physical house home or back with Jesus home? And at first it was physical house home. He's like, no, I want to live and take me home. I want to live and take me home. So, we honored his wishes up until that point. And then it kind of changed to where my dad was saying, no, I'm ready to go home. And he would look up. So communication was a little bit hard near the end of his life just because he was so weak. And for those of you that don't know, both my parents are deaf, so we do sign language. So it's all sign language. So my dad has to use his hands. But he was so weak that all he could really do is sign yes, real small.
Right.
Or he would use two fingers and say no. and he would smile and then, try to use his eyes to communicate. So it got to the point where we felt like he was asking to go home to be with the Lord, and he was ready. So that gave me a bit more comfort in signing the DNR, but it still was the hardest thing I ever had to do, because I don't want my dad to go, and I don't want my signature to be the one that says, okay, because your signature is here, we didn't do anything when, he had difficulty breathing or when his heart stopped. So anyways, so we signed the DNR, and me, my mom, and my brother are in the room with him, and he's getting to the point where he can no longer talk, and they put him on different medication and have him on, I think they had him on machines where he's just comfortable, so he doesn't look like he's in pain or anything like that. And it gets to the point where they have to, start taking him off the machines and letting his body just do what naturally needs to be done to transition. So we get to that point, we take him off all the machines. He looks like he's at peace. He's not talking anymore, but, he's deaf, so he can't hear us. So we're just holding his hand, and we're signing in his hand and, saying, I love you. This is a sign for I love you in his hand. And it's a very intimate moment, and, it's sad, but it's beautiful at the same time, because my dad was surrounded by everyone that absolutely loved him. Prior to that, people were coming, his friends and family were driving in and flying in and riding their bike to the hospital to see my dad before he left. So I felt like even though he couldn't see everyone, he couldn't hear everyone, I think he felt everyone's presence, and I don't feel like he felt like he was alone, which is another blessing. So there's this point where something happened with my dad where we had to step out, and the nurses had to do something just to clean him up, and I'm just trying to keep it PG. They had to clean him up. So we go to a little weight room. We do have extended family members there, and we're talking to them. My uncle was there, my aunt, and some of my cousins, and me and my mom had to use the bathroom. So we're on our way to the bathroom. A nurse kind of yells down the hallway, and I'm paraphrasing based off of what I remember from over a year ago, but she's like, no, you guys need to be in this room. He does not have that much time. Like, we did not have time to use the restroom. So he had something that they thought might have been contagious, so you have to put a gown on before you enter his room, put on gloves, and put on a mask.
Like a hazmat.
Kinda. We had to prepare, so we couldn't just go straight to his room. So between me and my mom, I'm faster. So I'm like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh my gosh, Daddy, I get to my daddy. So I get my stuff on, and I go into the room, and I grab his hand, and I'm talking to him like, I love you so much, Daddy. You're the best daddy in the whole wide world. I thank God that I'm your daughter, and I'm hugging him, and I'm kissing him, and I don't even care if he has anything contagious at this point. I mean, I have my mask on, but I just want him to feel my presence. And I don't know if anyone's ever experienced this before, but when you know someone's at the end of their life, you're looking at their chest movements. Is it rising? Is it falling? You're looking to see if they're still breathing. So my dad takes a couple breaths. He inhales, he exhales, and then I don't see any more movement. And I'm like, and I could see my mom right at the door. She's there, but she can't get her things on quick enough to get to my dad. And so instantly I'm like, no, he took his last breath and my mom wasn't there. And I'm like, she's right there, but she just couldn't make it. And so she finally makes it in, and I'm like, Mom, I'm so sorry. I think he's gone. Like, he's not breathing anymore. And she said, oh, no, he's not gone yet because I didn't pray over him. So as soon as she said that, man took a breath. My dad inhaled. And I was like, okay, Mom, go ahead and speak over him. So my mom does this beautiful prayer of basically saying, I'll be okay without you. Go be with your creator. Go to heaven. I kind of like, not like release you like he needed her permission, but to give him a sense like, it's okay. I'll be okay. You can go. It was the most beautiful prayer ever. Now, while this is happening, my brother did make it to the bathroom. So When my brother goes to the bathroom, sometime it take him a while. Sorry, Jeffrey, I'm putting all your business out there. So he didn't know. So he didn't know all this was going on. So by the time he gets out the bathroom, the nurse is like, go to your dad's room. Your mom and your sister are already there, and just hurry up and get there. So my mom does his prayer. By the end of her prayer, my brother makes it in, and then my dad stops breathing. So now I'm sad that my brother wasn't there for his last breath. And so I'm like, Jeffrey, I think he's gone. He's not breathing anymore. Mommy prayed over him. He wasn't by himself, but, he's gone. And my brother takes his hand, and my dad doesn't inhale again, but he exhales. So I don't know if anyone knows anything about anatomy, but when we use our lungs, there's usually a little bit of reserve in our lungs. And I don't remember the technical term for it, but it was like my dad inhaled, exhaled. I had my moment with him. My mom said no. He inhaled, exhaled. He had his moment with my mom. My brother comes in, and he lets go of the last bit of breath in his lungs. I mean, I can't make this story up, y'all. It was so beautiful. And I know a lot of people are just like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. It's sad, but that's how I want to go. I want to go with my loved ones around me, holding me, and just peacefully letting go of my breath. Like, it was a beautiful thing. So after that, there was no more inhale, exhale, nothing. So all of us were able to be there for my dad's last breath. And I absolutely thank God for that moment. I could have been here in Texas, and that could have happened, and I wouldn't even be able to hold my dad or see him, for his last moments. Like, I thank God we were all there. So I think there's beauty in that. There is beauty in that. And I think, let me stop saying think. There's beauty in that, and there's God in that.
Right.
I mean, how do you not believe in God after something like that? Like, I just know God is real, and I thank him for that. So I have that beautiful memory to hold on to, and it actually just makes me smile. Like, I when I told the story at the celebration service, it was hard to tell.
Right.
And there were some tears, but I can tell it now and smile and laugh about it. Laugh that my brother was in the bathroom. Laugh that I beat I know it's it's a happy thing. And so, when Thanksgiving comes, my dad's not there, but I just have all these wonderful memories with him. And I know he's in a better place, and I know I will see him again. So every once in a while, a picture will pop up on Facebook, like some type of memory, or on my phone. It's my dad. And I'm like, hey, Dad. And then I go about my day. I don't know how to explain it. I do miss him, but I'm not sad. I'm not sad about it. Yeah. So
that's a beautiful story. I love it every time you tell it, because there's just a little more information, or not more, maybe not more, different information that you reveal.
No, it could be,
each time. And I think I've realized that kind of even in my own testimony. Like, there are certain things that you initially remember, and then there's little itty bitty details that may cipher in there as you continue telling the story, and that just can help just the next person.
I hope so. I want this to help someone. I want this to touch someone and just let them know that, there is a God. I mean, there just has to be a God, and you really can find beauty in something that's very sad. But again, I'm just speaking from myself, and this is how I was raised. My daddy was a pastor. My mom did Bible study. I'm pretty sure they gave me a Bible right out the womb. So this is my whole life. This is my foundation. This is how I view things, and this is my perspective on life now and hereafter. So because I have that as my foundation, and that's how I respond the way I do.
Right.
But I'm sure that's not the case for everyone, and everyone has a different perspective on it. So I don't expect this to be the answer to everyone who's sad about a lost one. I don't expect that at all.
Right.
But I did want to share that just so that there's more than one story out there. Yes, there's stories out there on social media of someone being so sad that they can't even, leave the house on Thanksgiving. That's a true thing, and you have to acknowledge that. And something like that should be addressed. And, you want to pray for families like that, but you also want to do. So like
Correct.
we gotta do some things. So if you know family members or friends who are struggling or having to deal with those ideas and those barriers around the holidays, it's good to reach out to them and let them know they're not alone. There's so many people that have this story. Why Christmas, right? These sad Christmas songs. This is, I mean, it happens to a lot. So, and every year, this is not new news. So, that's actually part one of my story.
Ooh.
I have a good part two, and I don't know if we need to break or anything.
Yes, because we're almost at that time.
Okay, so technology tells us we have to break. This is the end of part one. We'll do intermission. We just watched Wicked yesterday, so I'm in the mindset of like theater and then this act and that act and intermission. And we'll be back for act
two.
Act two? I don't know.
This is the Just a Messenger podcast, and that is part one.
Part one.
The message.
The message. I didn't give a message.
Message.
Did I? I mean, I gave messages, but
I mean, everything you talked about was of hope.
I think so. Okay.
And not just talking about it, but also being about it now that you're, it's been some time for you to process. And I mean, just like as simple as what you said, it's like now that you can tell the story and have a different emotion, or the emotions are the same emotions but less intensity, or more intensity in different ones. Like the sadness may be a little bit less,
right?
The joy is a little bit more, the thankfulness is a little bit more, and so
but they're all still there.
Exactly.
Okay,
So
part one.
part two.